NFP happened this morning and more jobs were created than expected. 200,000 jobs were expected, but 263,000 was the actual report. Unemployment, however, came out unchanged, still sitting at 3.7%. Canada also had some good news today regarding unemployment, dropping their unemployment rate from 5.3% down to 5.1%. Now, with that being said, let's check out the Edge Finder. All right, so here we are inside of the Edge Finder. Hope you guys like that new little studio set that we're working on. We've got some really cool, fun things in store for you guys. Hopefully coming very soon, but that is just a little taste of what is still to come. We are still working on that set. We're going to add a couple more things, and but yeah, we got some cool stuff on the way. So please make sure to subscribe to the channel because we've got we're working on lots of new stuff for you guys, for the viewers, to make this show and our live streams the best thing possible for you traders.
Hey traders, would you like some help with technical analysis? Well, lucky for you, we're giving away a free technical analysis guide. That's right, completely free. It's an entire guide all around technical analysis. The guide includes subjects like support and resistance trading, MACD indicators, trend lines, candlestick pattern trading, RSI indicators, and much more. So make sure to click the link in the description, fill out that information, and we'll email you a technical analysis guide right away.
Now, let's see. Here in the Scorechart Summary in the Edge Finder, we had our NFP report today. Unemployment came out unchanged, still sitting at 3.7%, but more jobs were created, so that's a good thing. Canada also had some new good news for unemployment. Their unemployment rate dropped down to 5.1%. But if we want to take a look at the dollar, and I wasn't planning on doing this initially, but I thought that it was fun. It would be fun to take a look at. Here's our news event. So really nice, strong green candle for the dollar. We're looking at the 1 hour chart. If we switch it to, say, the 15-minute chart, that was our news event right there, happening at 8:30 this morning. Nice, strong green candle, bullish news for the dollar. So hopefully we'll continue to see it move to the upside. It has dropped a little bit since then, but it's fighting back up. So hopefully looking at some support here and then breaking through that, creating some more highs off this good NFP report for the dollar. So let's take a look at our currency pairs. I'm going to remove the indices and the commodities, and I'm going to remove these neutrals as well. We just want buys and sells, no neutrals. So that leaves us with NZD CAD, NZD CHF, NZD USD, Aussie CAD, USD CAD, NZD JPY, CHF JPY, CAD CHF, Euro NZD, Aussie NZD, GBP NZD. So our New Zealand dollar pair still holding strong at the top and the bottom, and we have a few yen pairs, some Canadian crosses. USD CAD is maybe something that we could take a look at based on our new US and Canadian news, Canadian dollar news. So yeah, why don't we go ahead and do that? But before we do that, we're going to take a look at the market heat map and see how we've moved so far today. Here are our major US pairs. USD CHF up 0.57% so far today. That's our top US dollar pair so far today. The indices are down. US indices are down. US 30, S&P 500, NASDAQ 100. S&P 500, NASDAQ 100 are down today based off the NFP news. And that is not totally surprising because as more people are investing in the dollar rather than stocks, that tends to happen. Euro pairs seem to be down on the day. Pound pairs also kind of seem to be down on the day. Yen pairs are absolutely down so far. The Swiss franc, however, is making some moves to the upside in their crosses. Aussie is on the downtrend, and New Zealand dollar's kind of split. Not too much going on with New Zealand. Still holding strong in the Scorechart Summary, obviously. Strong buy here, some strong sells here. But USD CAD, I think, is what we're going to take a look at. Our NFP report and our new unemployment numbers. And in fact, we can see right here, Canadian dollar, 5.1% unemployment. That's our new unemployment rate, 3.7% unchanged for the US dollar. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into this. So we have a score of +3, buy bias. COT data is a score of +1, and retail sentiment is a neutral score. Wow, and retail sentiment is a neutral score. It is literally 50-50, long and short from the retail traders. Institutional traders, however, are 72.9% long on the US dollar, 27.10% short, and 43.15% long and 56.85% short for the Canadian dollar. So very slight favoritism toward the short side on the Canadian dollar. Pretty heavily favored long on the US dollar, but retail traders cannot make up their mind. They're 50-50. Seasonality is a score of +1, and of course, now we are in the month of December. Our 10-year average and last 5-year average, we can see the 10-year average is definitely above that neutral line here, meaning that this pair typically does better in the month of December. However, our last 5-year average is just below that line, or maybe it's on the line. It does say 0 there, so just on the line. So in the last 5 years, there hasn't been enough data to really change it one way or the other. However, in our current year average, we are currently sitting below that line. However, seasonality is not scoring our current year average. Seasonality is scoring the last 10-year and last 5-year averages. So because we have the last 5 years sitting at a neutral and the last 10 years sitting at a positive, we are scoring that as a +1 because historically this pair does tend to move upwards slightly in the month of December. Our trend reading, on the other hand, is a -1 score. So we can see that for the last 2 days, essentially, since November 30th and today is December 2nd, we've had slight move down. We had a upward move here, creating a new higher high, breaking out of what looks like a little bit of consolidation and a high here. And now it's trending to the downside. And our price forecast is saying that this could potentially keep moving to the downside. However, our trend reading is only a score of -1. So that means that it has been trending downwards, but that doesn't mean that it necessarily predicts that it will continue to keep trending downwards. A score of -2 in the trend reading would mean that this is clear and obviously trending downwards. A score of +2 would mean that this is clear and obviously trending upwards. However, our trend reading score is just going off of our most recent data. Has it been moving up or has it been moving down? And so because for the last 2 days it has technically been moving down, it gives a -1 score here. But of course, not a strong score. A -2 would be a stronger score, meaning that it is definitely moving down and will most likely continue to move down. This, of course, could reverse based on our COT data, based on our retail sentiment, and especially based on our fundamentals here that we're about to get into. So GDP growth is a score of +1, inflation -1, and unemployment and interest rates are both scores of +1, meaning that the US dollar, the US is beating out Canada in a majority of these categories except for inflation. So we can see US GDP growth currently sits at 2.9% compared to Canada's 0.7%. Our unemployment numbers, of course, is what the big news event of the day was today, unchanged at 3.7%, but Canada dropping to 5.1%. Inflation in the US is higher than in Canada at 7.7% compared to 6.9%. And lastly, interest rates, US interest rates sit at 4% compared to Canada's 3.75%. So quick look into the US dollar and Canadian dollar breakdown page. Score of +3, so not a strong buy, but a buy signal nonetheless. If you guys want the Edge Finder for yourself, you can find links to it down in the description below. Make sure you go check out those links because we have a lot of useful stuff down there. I'm going to bring all of this stuff back in, including the neutrals, so that you guys can pause the video and take a look at all of this if you'd like to. We have all of our currency pairs, indices, and commodities listed here with their respective scores for today. Again, and we have all of these metrics that we score up here. If you'd like to take a look at this and kind of get an idea for some markets, some charts that you'd like to take a look at, feel free to go ahead and do that. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this analysis. Now let's watch the news event being covered by TraderNick.
Everybody wants gold. Okay, gold's going to be on there. Let's do the S&P.
going on with the S&P 500. And once we jump into the news, which we are about to see the news. Oh, there it is. Pound dollar down, gold down, S&P starting down. And by the way, comment the numbers when you have them. If you have them in the chat, share them with the audience here. Look at that initial spikes to the downside there on the S&P coming down hard here. Gold also coming down pretty strongly today. Wow, look at that. Pound dollar falling through the floor. Big break to the downside there. And look at this, you guys. This is crazy. Actually, that conversation we just had with gold is more relevant than I even thought. So we'll zoom in and we'll take a look at some of these charts in just a second. A beat on jobs numbers, it seems. Definitely a little bit of a fear factor coming into the stock market, as that could give the Fed more room to raise rates. So yeah, very interesting. Let's take a look. We'll narrow in on some of the individual charts. Euro NZD, my trade does look like it may get retested here. We'll see if it ends up getting stopped out. Let's take a look at the dollar real quick. So DXY. Dollar shooting up on that news. So something coming out good for the dollar, not good for a lot of other things. Let's keep going. Euro USD. Euro USD coming down real hard. If you are currently long on the euro or looking to get long on the euro, I will say this, you do have support potentially coming into play here in just a moment. Here's your 4-hour chart view, and you have support looking left. So might be some opportunities. And again, this is what we were talking about with the actual event. Sometimes it can create some excellent opportunities. Thank you, Brownfish, for the numbers that came out. Appreciate that. Yes, we had a big beat for jobs in the US. That's what just happened. And that unexpected number, of course, caused some serious volatility here for a lot of the dollar crosses. Here's your view on gold, guys. For those of you who are watching that, look at that, how gold has already just came back into it, tapped into this support zone. And even if it falls through this level, it's amazing how levels get just tapped perfectly. I mean, this is the cool thing about technicals. You know, sometimes people say there's no essence to technicals or charting. And look at this. We just marked up this zone, came right down to that point, to the T. And even if it doesn't react to that level big time, you can see it at least stopped there. It shot right down to that point, stopped, and has been thinking about it still. That's crazy. So anyways, yeah, gold looking interesting. You might get a pullback play here for the gold buyers. This might be the second chance that many traders who, were patient enough to not wait for a FOMO or to wait on their FOMO feelings, might get an opportunity here. So coming down close to that 38.2% retracement on the gold chart. For those of you watching that, that's a big spike to the downside there. You have in that hourly candle a move of 1,500 pips. Very, very, very intense. US 30. Yep, US 30. Look at that big drop real quick. And, this is the scary thing about being in the bear market that we're in. You get these big rallies, and then they just as soon as they started can result in big flops the other direction. Now, of course, we'll have to watch to see if that, in fact, does end up following through. Guys, we have 30 minutes left on this candle. And, that gives us plenty of time to see what this candle actually ends up doing. So really big spike to the downside there this morning. On the indices, on the dollar crosses, here's pound USD. Look at that, pound dollar clean break. And this is, again, what I was talking about with the day traders. Clean break underneath there. Looks like it wants to go zone to zone. May retest that 1.2120 off of the news today. And again, like I said, these are the sort of days where if you're trading the aftermath, which is what I tend to do, then you get these opportunities where the market pulls back for you and you could potentially get some entries. Now, speaking of pulling back, it might be an intense pullback on my trade here. Let's see. Yep. So Euro NZD, as long as this resistance holds, I'll still be in the trade. So waiting for a huge pop candle. If you're looking to trade the other direction here today, like I said, might be some, here's NZD USD. Is this one giving us anything? It's one I'd like to be long on, but not quite today. That's a deeper retracement I would need. Pound USD though, coming very close. Let's go look at the edge finder, see if there's anything here. In terms of scoring, a lot of those NZD crosses, like I said, NZD USD is one I wanted. US 30, I want to take a second look at US 30. And let me refresh this page. So here's a look at the numbers, by the way, you guys. What we in fact had here is actually Canada came out with better than expected unemployment rate. Jobs created are a little bit of a miss, but not by much. In terms of NFP for the US, unemployment came out as expected. Jobs, however, came out much better than expected. 263,000 jobs created compared to the expected 200,000 jobs. That's, of course, going to be very positive for the dollar.
Make sure you guys check out the links in the description if you need broker recommendations, access to our free Discord, or want to chat with us on Telegram. If you're interested in our trading software, the Edge Finder, you can find that in the description as well. Thanks for watching.